Hello, you beautiful tea minds. Welcome to my tea chamber in Kyoto. We just had a wonderful tea ceremony afternoon with some really engaged and eager to learn guests, and we shared a beautiful time together, enjoying a service of koicha, thick tea, and we shared a lot of interesting insights and thoughts about tea ceremony, Japanese culture, and really going deep into the tradition. When engaging in tea ceremony, you don't only get a good taste of a delicious tea, but you also get access to a lot of peripheral aspects of Japanese culture and tradition. And with these occasions that I do in Kyoto, I really try to make the most out of it, to share as much as I can about the underlying aspects of the tradition, and to talk about the scroll, the flower, all the utensils that are used in it, and also the cultural and historical background of tea ceremony, so that visitors get a good understanding of what Japanese culture really is. And tea ceremony just provides so much opportunity to look at different cultural and historical aspects. And one question that I often get asked during the tea ceremony, or usually after the tea ceremony, is how long did it take you to become a tea master? It's a question that I always find so very difficult to answer, because what does mastery really mean? And the idea and concept of mastery, or being granted a title of master in a Japanese tradition, does not necessarily translate into what we see as an accreditation of some sort in a Western context. Often this question is asked by persons with a Western background to mean, how long did it take you to graduate? And getting a certification in a Japanese tradition is, in those persons' minds, translated into a diploma of some sort, where you take a course, take several months or several years, like for example a university course, and at the end of your term at university you are granted your diploma, and it's a completion. It's a certificate that says you have completed this and you are skilled in whatever you have learned. Now, with Japanese arts, I see this in a different way. And I often use the analogy of martial arts, where in martial arts you start learning the tradition and you accumulate Q grades. Q grades are the basic grades that lead up to your black belt. And these Q grades, they count down. You usually start at a 7th or a 6th Q, and you count down until first Q. So you go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. These are your Q grades, and along those Q grades you generally accumulate knowledge, skill and expertise in the basics of your tradition. You learn all the different aspects that there are to learn to get a basic understanding of them, and accumulate a basic skill in doing them. And once you've gone through all these Q grades, you are awarded your first dan. And that is when someone receives a black belt. But the black belt does not end there. When you're a black belt, that is really where the journey starts, because now you have accumulated all the knowledge. You can start perfecting your art. And in dan grades too, you again start counting up. You begin with the first dan, and then the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, all the way up. So that is to say that an accreditation of a sort in tea ceremony as well is like your dan grades, where you first learn all the basics, And then when you've reached a certain level of understanding, you are given your certificate. In Japanese tea ceremony, that is usually your tea name or your hut name. And in my case, the tea name that I've received is Sosen. And the hut name that I've received with my full instructorship is Tangetsu-an, the hut of the pale moon. And these certifications are often seen as, now I'm a tea master, I have achieved it. But from the perspective of someone who is practicing in a tradition like this is really where the journey begins. So that is where I often think, so how should I explain this? What is mastery? And how can I explain in a clear way that the accreditation that I've received is where it really started? And it's very interesting to know that the accreditation of full instructor in the tea ceremony that I have received, I only received after 8 years of training. So I've already gone through 8 years of learning the tea ceremony and going through all the different seasons, the different setups, and accumulating knowledge about how to do the tea ceremony in all these different ways. And after I've accumulated that knowledge, I was certified as an instructor. But then, for me, the journey starts, because then you start to learn more about the utensils. You begin to learn more about the background of the seasons, how significant they are today and how they were in the past, where certain traditions came from, and you deepen your knowledge continuously. That is also why it is said that tea ceremony is a lifelong journey. You learn the tea ceremony for several years to understand it, but then you dig deeper and you discover more and more and more, and it expands. And you discover new areas in which you can dig deeper and learn new things. So when we come to what is mastery, I think mastery is not what we consider knowing or being capable of doing on the surface, but what lies underneath that, below the surface. Mastery is taking responsibility to continuously and always do things perfectly, with the best of intentions, with the best attitude. And in tea ceremony, the purpose is hospitality. So each and every time when you start a tea ceremony as a tea master, you know that it is your responsibility to make that occasion the most unique, authentic, and best experience for your guests. And that is what I think mastery translates into. It is your understanding that each time you have to give it your fullest. You have to give it your best. And in order to be able to do that, you need to maintain your level of skill. So mastery is maintenance of your skill. Mastery is expansion of your skill, so that at any given time you are in the right state of mind, with the right set of capacities and the right skills to put down the best performance. When you are the master of your own life, and that is a term that is used very frequently these days, become the master of your own life, it means that you do the things that will befit your life to make your life better. But as we have come to understand, it is an everlasting process. It is like going to the gym. You can know how to lift dumbbells, but your physical capacity will deteriorate over time when you don't do it. So it is important to do the maintenance and to keep lifting those dumbbells, so that your physical capacity will stay at that level, that at whichever given time you can put down the best performance. In your life, you want to train your mind, train your physical ability, so that you can always make the right decisions, that you are always clear and look at situations so that you can distinguish what is going to be best for you or what might harm you in the long run. And acquiring that skill is what I think in martial arts are the Q grades. Understanding what the processes are, understanding what the choices are, and the methods to making those choices. But once you've reached mastery, it is your responsibility, for the sake of your life, that you take those skills that you've learned and you apply them continuously. And as you apply them every time again, you might discover new things, new approaches to make it easier, to make better choices, to do things in a better way. And with tea ceremony as well, once you've learned how to do the tea ceremony, next what is awaiting you is different occasions with different people, with different utensils, in different settings. And each time again you want to set down the same performance and offer your guests the same level of hospitality. But in order to be able to do that, you need to continue practicing yourself. You need to continue going deeper, maintaining your level of skill. Because if you don't do tea ceremony for a long time, you might start to forget certain steps in the process. And when you're doing the tea ceremony in front of your guests, you might have to think and remember those steps. But if you practice yourself and it becomes sort of a natural thing to do, you will not have to think about it anymore. It will become natural and you will be able to care about other aspects of the ceremony more. And that is what I think mastery really means. So when do you have achieved mastery? Well, mastery is when you have learned the basics and have started to take the responsibility to do your best, to keep practicing, and to do your due diligence so that at any given point you will do your best performance. And for that purpose, I would maybe even say that mastery is endured as long as you practice. When you stop practicing, you will lose a bit of that mastery. And you will have to regain that mastery. So mastery needs to be maintained. So would I say that I am a tea master? As a humble person, I say, well, I'm still learning every day. In the light of the explanation that I have given now, I would call myself a tea master, because I have taken the vow to myself to take full responsibility, to continue practicing my skill, and to always aim to provide my guests with the best I have. And I think it is in that mindset that true mastery lies. But it is an enduring, ongoing process, and it is maintenance that makes the master. I hope you found this interesting. If you have any thoughts on this, let me know in the comments. And also don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell to get updated on new notifications of videos that are going to come out in the future, because I would love to share more of this with you. Thank you for watching, and I hope to someday see you in my tea chamber as well. Have a great day. Create your silence.